A pleasant Thursday evening, everybody. Welcome to BVA Thursday night. I don't even know what they're calling it. I think it's a Cape Cod fly-in. But yeah, we're on the ground here at Plum Island, 2 Bravo 2, and we're getting ready to do some VFR work in the Boston area, basically. So just kind of getting some things here configured and set up, and we'll take our time in case you want to spawn there again. 2 Bravo 2 Plum Island. It's just north of the Boston area, but it's kind of a neat little area. Honestly, looks like maybe an old runway or grass runway or something. Kind of used to go that way, or still does, but kind of carved right into neat little neighborhood down here. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun VFR style tonight. So hope you're having a great day, and hope you can join us. If not, if you stumbled upon this later on, hello, welcome. This channel is a little bit of a variety channel, I guess. If anything, we tend to like the smaller airports and the bush flying. When we do go bigger airports, we lean towards the more vintage jets, and try to fly those older birds. So if you like that kind of stuff, if you like slant alpha navigation, we learn from the best. We actually learned from a guy named Rob at Slant Alpha Adventures. He'd be a great channel to check out. Um, I've got some other guys that come along for the ride quite often. Um, Downwind Sim is one guy, and Al South MIA is another. Both are experienced guys, good dudes, and they help me out quite a bit as well. So our plan, we're going to pull this up here just so you have an idea before we get things rolling. So I actually been messing around here quite a bit. We're going to be going, we're actually going to start at Plum Island, and we're going to end up at Minuteman Airfield. So we're gonna be doing a lot of work right around the the Boston Class Bravo airspace. But in between that, we are going to go down to Nantucket, just because Nantucket is one of the featured airports in tonight's event. And then we might even, depending on what's going on, we have Hyannis and Martha's Vineyard also that are a part of tonight's event. So we may try to stop into one of those after we get to Minuteman Field. But how about let's start thinking about a little bit of a flight plan here. Again, we want to do some VFR work today, so we're going to be looking at just trying to make our way around. Again, the Class Bravo airspace right here. You can see the ring. We are in it to start. And so, we're really needing to figure out a way to get around it. And I think, honestly, unless we're cleared through the Bravo airspace, which maybe we could be if we stay low enough. The the chart here is saying if we stay below 3,000, we're okay. And so it might be an option for us just to head straight, pretty well straight towards Nantucket. But we still have to deal with this Hyannis Cape Cod area. So I'm not sure if that is necessarily the best plan or not, but that's a plan. It's just to see if we can get cleared direct, and then as we go, just request permission to enter all these different airspaces. The other way that a guy could think about, I guess, would be to come inland a little bit, but as you can see, it's quite a maze, and so you really are going to have to be talking to a lot of different controllers to make sure that you are cleared into the different airspaces as well. Plus, it might be a little more difficult to try to get clear of the Bravo. You might have to actually go north, and then but then if you're going to come around this way, here you go. You've got Manchester to deal with, and so what I'm thinking is And again, I've done about 5 minutes of planning here. It's just kind of the end of the day, and I'm just jumping on and seeing what there is to see. I actually think we might be better just to try to come out here to the east and just try to kind of make our way south in a generally south direction there. So, I don't know, just out here somewhere. Let me just put this on here for now, just so we have a visual. And then we could, as we're coming down, if we stay well clear of the Cape Cod area, um, we could be okay. The challenge here is there's really no waypoints. There's no visual references when you're out at sea, and so that's an issue as well. But that's kind of the decision that you have to make, I guess, when you're flying VFR. And so honestly, what I'm going to do is this, because I want to involve not only the trip between Plum Island and Nantucket, but I want to incorporate a little bit of the controllers that are going to be online. So I'm gonna try to get cleared, or I'm gonna try to get clearance through the class Bravo, and then I'm going to pretty well head direct Hyannis. And at Hyannis, I'm going to request from the controller here at Barnstable Municipal. I'm going to request a touch and go. I don't know what the weather looks like there just yet, but we'll do a little touch and go, and then we'll head on down to Nantucket. So really, a pretty simple flight plan, which honestly for me is a good thing at this point in time in the week. So yeah, about 72 or so miles. It looks, like about a 45-minute leg, and then we'll figure out from Nantucket where we want to go. We may just do a little touch and go at Martha's Vineyard and end up here. I don't remember exactly where Minuteman is, but it's up in here. And again, we're gonna have to deal with a little bit of that Class Bravo transition and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that looks like a pretty good plan for tonight. Let's go ahead. We're getting fogged up. And let's take a look here under the hood. I haven't driven this thing for a while. Sometimes it'll tell you to, store, if you're not going to fly for a while, store it with a certain additive. But it looks like everything looks pretty good here. Everything, no warnings or anything up there. That's good. We are going to go ahead and top off the fuel. I don't think I'm going to have 4 passengers today. Yeah, I mean, what the heck? If you're going to fly around the Cape Cod area, you're going to bring your buddies, right? Honestly, yeah. So that looks pretty good. Let's see here. Can we do? I want to do the walk around. I've forgotten here how to do that. There we go. So pre-flight inspection. Let's kind of again just take a quick look around here. Left wing, the pitot tube, the cover is off. We're gonna check the temp. Oh yeah, that's looking nice and cool right now. Nothing turned on. Check the baggage doors locked. Working our way back to the tail. Yep, I don't have anything. No tie downs. Checking the all the hinge mechanisms. Those look good. This also looks good. You'd be looking inside there, checking for rust and all that good stuff. And then this should be nice and tight. It is. All right, onwards to the right side. Yep, the flaps are in good shape. Again, just checking all of the moving points there. Those look good. No signs of breakage or wear or anything like that. Wingtip and lights, all that stuff looks good. And again, you're just kind of looking in here visually, seeing if anything looks out of place on the ailerons. Around to the front, you can see I've got a bunch of bug splatters there. That just happens over time. This thing, again, it does keep track of what you do over time. I don't have any tie downs. Pitot, what am I looking for? Sorry, the fuel vent right there. It's open, no blockage. No chocks on the tire. Everything looks, tread wear looks good, all that fun stuff. And then, okay, let's take a quick look. Oh, fuel looks nice and clean. No, nothing floating around in there. That's good. Fuel quantity, yep, we filled it up. Good deal. It's all the way up to the top there. Topped her off. Looking at the, look at all that build up on that. That's pretty dang cool. What are we looking at here? We're looking at the static source opening, and yeah, it's right there. No blockages. That looks good. Drain the fuel down here. Again, nice and clear. We do have the strut extension looks good. It's, you know, it's getting a little bit of dirt and wear and tear, but I don't see anything, you know, of concern. And then propeller, just checking, you know, no damage. Actually, just put this 3-blade propeller back on a little while ago, so it's looking pretty good. Nothing in there as far as debris. I don't know if that does anything. Nope. Probably clears something out if you have something in there. Checking the oil. Yeah, nice light brown color. That looks good. And then again, let's see, where is that? Where is that? Left static. Right there. Yeah, nothing in the way, nothing blocking that. And then fuel quantity on the left wing again should be full, which it is. Checking the fuel quantity or clarity there, looks great. Checking the tires, no chocks down. Everything looks good. Inflated. No tie downs. Stall warning vane. Oh, it flicks. Yep, that's working properly. The yeah, that looks good. No blockages there. Aileron, all the connections that we're looking at, those all look good. Okay, flaps are secure. I don't know why they're down. I must have forgot to clean up after my last landing in this plane. Those all look nice and clean and ready, good to go. All right, cabin, yeah, so pre-flight inspection is complete. Yeah, for sure. I've got, oh geez, I have a lot of stuff on here that I don't need. I must have just shut this down without doing anything last time. Okay, we'll turn the battery on, and we do need, we might as well put the beacon on while we're here. Open up the cowl, flaps, turn on the fuel, and let's see here. All right. Mixture full rich. Throttle is cracked. No, not mixture full rich. I'm thinking about the Beaver here. Prop is full forward. Fuel pump is on. We're going to watch for a little bit of rise in the fuel. 1, 2, right here. 1, 2, 3. Look for the fuel flow to just nudge up. I did not see that do that, so that's concerning. I wonder what's going on there. Left the fuel pump on way too long. Oh, geez. I actually turned the fuel off. The fuel was on already, and I rotated it 180 and turned it off. So let's try that again. Again, we should see this. We should see the fuel flow increase just slightly. So fuel pump on. There we go. 1001, 1002. Just need 3. Hopefully I haven't flooded the engine here, but we will see here right now. All right, she is alive. Ooh, I do not have the brakes set, Sam. I am. boy, it's running clunky, like I have also maybe fouled the plugs. So there's all kinds of stuff. If you've never flown an A2A aircraft, there is a lot of stuff that's X-plane people are kind of familiar with, like the reality expansion pack. Um, that's what this essentially does. It keeps track of damage, it keeps track of wear and tear, it keeps track of how you shut things down at the end of the day, and all that good stuff. And if you if you leave the engine idling for too long, it fouls the plugs, and there's just a litany of things that it simulates. It's pretty cool, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a headache. Like right now, I guess I didn't remember not shutting things down because I know if I don't, like if you leave the battery on and you exit the sim, and in an hour your battery will be dead. And if you come back and fire things up and load the plane, the battery will be dead. You have to replace the battery. So it keeps track in real time of essentially what state your aircraft is in. So we will put the vent on. It's a nice day here at the aircraft position, Plum Island. It's 70 degrees out, so just gonna put the vent on to keep the windshield from fogging up, and that's all I need really for that. I'm not gonna worry too much about this stuff, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna be, well, I'm gonna have to do this in order to get my VOR and GPS to work. I have to at least fire this much of it up here, but I'll leave it on there because, again, I don't want I'm not worried about tracking VORs and stuff like that necessarily. I'm going to try to just fly visually, and honestly, it's, for the most part, it's going to be a pretty straight shot. Again, as I look at this, if I'm cleared, we're going to be heading down southeast through the Bravo airspace. I'm going to try to keep the altitude down at 1,500. There's really no terrain to worry about per se, and if I have to, I guess I can shoot for, you can see Provincetown. It's a pretty recognizable airport off to our east, and this Marshall Field is also pretty distinct. It's kind of right where this little narrow strip of island runs. So that might be kicking a field goal there. Basically, if we get it through the uprights, then we know we're on our correct approach to Hyannis, and that should get us where we need to go. It's sort of tough to miss Cape Cod. It's this big old hook jaw here, and yeah, like I say, tough to miss it. So that'll be roughly what we're looking at. Well, just kind of a 176 type of departure, almost due south, and we'll see what the guy says. If he says stay clear of Class Bravo, well, then we're going to probably have to do something just a little bit different here in terms of our flight plan. I guess what we could do, if we had to, is we could shoot out again to the east, and we could use kind of the Rockport Lighthouse as sort of a guide to stay north of that, and then maybe aim down here for the sort of the edge of this part of Cape Cod, and use maybe the Provincetown airfield as a little bit of a reference point as well. So we've got options, I guess, is what I'm saying. And regardless, we're just here to have some fun anyway, so what the heck. Alright, I need to do just a couple things here. I'm going to load in our flight plan, and then I think we're just about ready to rock and roll. So give me just one quick second. We'll get V-Pilot loaded up.
Climb and maintain flight level 360.
We'll be heading out in just a sec.
Oh, 360, American 1853. Blue star 60, expect the ILS runway 27 information is X-ray.
We have information, the X-ray, runway 27.
Delta 2296, Boston information X-ray, expect ILS runway 27 approach.
Information X-ray, expecting 27 approach, Delta 2296.
November 6, 58 Delta Tango, Quebec, Marconi, Lima, Foxtrot, Victor. November 6, 58 Delta Tango, Quebec, Marconi, Lima, Foxtrot, Victor.
Alright, a quick trip, and I think I am good, settled in here. I do need to just clean up the flaps here before we get too crazy. Trim looks okay. Everything else I think looks good.
Boston County, good evening. Challenger, November 4570, uniform, checking in flight level 210.
November 1457, uniform, Boston Center, good evening, Clear Depot.
Direct Depot, 570, uniform, thanks.
So I'm not going to be the guy that flies the Skylane into Boston, into the international airport like I've done in the past, but
American 1278, welcome to Boston, say again.
I have done that, and these guys handle it like a pro.
Taxi Kilo Alpha departing cross runway 4 left.
Tonight, I think we're going to just try to steer, well, we're not going to steer clear, but I should say that. We're going to be in the midst of it. We're going to make them kind of deal with us a little bit, I guess.
We're going to reduce speed to 250, then instead of maintain 8,000.
But no need to
Reduce speed 250.
No need to be actually down at Boston Logan, because for a plane like us, sometimes it's longer to taxi than it is to actually fly from airport to airport. So, alright, flight plan is filed. We just need to try to get a word in edgewise here. Now, as I'm looking, I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to be, so this is actually an uncontrolled airspace. So there we are, we're up here. We're going to have to just talk to center here, and again, we're going to request VFR clearance into the Class Bravo airspace to the southeast, and we're going to ask for direct Hyannis.
Maple 75, 54, descend via the Ocean 5 arrival, runway 27, the Boston altimeter 985.
Let's see what they tell us, I guess. Boston Center, November 516 Delta Mike.
Say again?
Hi, sir, 516 Delta Mike. We're on the ground, Plum Island. We'd like to request VFR transition through the Class Bravo, direct Nantucket if possible.
Number 516 Delta Mike, roger. Just give me a call when you're in the air. I'll get you, we'll see what we can do.
Wilco, 516 Delta Mike. Okay, yeah, and again, this is
516 Delta Mike, remain clear of the Bravo till advised.
Okay, clear the Bravo till advised, 516 Delta Mike. Alright, so we're going to have to, that changes things just a little bit. So this is an uncontrolled airspace, and so I think we're going to have to change our idea here just a little bit. So we're going to be at Plum Island. We're going to depart actually due north, and we'll check in once we get kind of up. We'll actually just head kind of towards Hampton. We don't want to get to Hampton because again, this is a Charlie or Delta. This would be another airspace where we need to have some permission to be in, but we'll fly up, fly north, you know, for 5 miles or so, and then we'll just start heading east until we have some idea whether or not we're going to be able to be cleared through the Bravo.
Before we leave your
Okay,
airspace,
sounds good. Sounds good. This is part of why I'm flying this tonight VFR is because I really need to work on my VFR skills and what I'm allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do, what I need permissions to do, and all that good stuff.
I don't know how to do that.
All right.
I know how to do it in VRC, but I'm not using VRC, so if you have any advice.
Surface winds 267 at 1, so pretty much clear. So we should be able to go to depart however we want to depart, and just checking the sky vector chart here. Runway 14 and runway 32. So
and that's the 360, descending at 3000 for Victor, Tower 60.
So we're going to depart heading north, basically. We are facing south right now. So I think what we'll do is we'll turn left, we'll head up the runway strip. There is no taxiway here. Basically, you've got just a little bit of a spot that takes you into a ramp. Might as well show you this. This is kind of a cool little airport, and you know, not much space here on the ramp. Obviously, just a little bit of a hangar there, and kind of an FBO right here, or a little bit of a terminal. But we'll just go ahead and back taxi, and then get down there, turn around, and depart to the north. Again, we're looking for
60 at 3000, reduce speed to 210.
just about 5 miles or so.
Speed 210 at 3000.
And then we'll turn due east, and that should get us clear of the Bravo, and we should be able to check in. We're going to go, even though we're departing direct north,
2296, turn left heading 010.
1,500 is going to be a good goal for us. 29883 is the altimeter. It's pretty darn close, I tell you what. Yeah, it might be right on, actually. Alright, what else on the checklist here? Taxi lights, nav lights, come on. Pitot heat, might as well always turn that on. Whoops, click spot. Told you about those new click spots in version 4.5. They're all over the place.
Southwest 20,
And
27 approach, response information X-ray.
okay, we can go brakes up. And let's see, Plum Island traffic, Cessna 516 Delta Mike. We're back taxi.
Air Canada 470, Air Canada 47, contact New York Center 125.32.
Oh boy, what am I back taxi?
Air Canada 470, thanks, have a good day. You too.
We're gonna back taxi runway 14, Plum Island.
Blue Star 60, maintain 19 knots or greater.
190 knots, greater, Blue Star 60.
Delta 2296, maintain 210 knots or greater.
And my type of airport here, I'll be honest with you, it's just kind of a municipal, kind of old, weathered runway. Lots of cracks on it, lots of just GA air traffic. Little different for the Orbix sounds. You know, usually you get the chirping birds and all that good stuff. Here I'm hearing the dog bark, so that's kind of interesting. All right, I'm seeing, what am I seeing here? Runway 3, runway 28. Oh my goodness, wait a second. What in the world? This is interesting. So I wonder if that chart, obviously not matching up with the scenery. I wonder if that chart is referring to that.
568 Delta Tango. Thanks. Welcome back. Next time, just ask me, please, when you're going to be away from frequency for that long.
Let me show you. I've got 5 thoughts going on at once here.
Marconi.
I told you it looked like there was like this little bit of an old grass runway. I wonder if that's what it's referring to.
Blue Star 60 is.
To be honest, I've not ever taken off on that runway. Should we do it?
Clear ILS,
I think we do it.
27 approach. Maintain 170 knots or greater until rip it.
Anyone can take off from the paved runway. Let's, if we said we're cleared on 35, then That's where we ought to take off.
Approach 27, start 60.
Alright, we'll do it. What the heck?
Delta 2296, reduce speed to 190, then descend and maintain 3000.
I cannot verify that this actually is still
190, 3000, Delta 296.
an active runway. Looks okay on this side, but this side looks pretty rough. I'm going to be honest with you. Alright, well, we're going to find out. We are going to find out. It does have a turnaround, so
Speedbird 226, contact Montreal
at one
Center,
point in time it
128.77.
was used, obviously. And this plane can handle just about
Speedbird
anything.
226,
Really a
contact Montreal
tough,
Center,
versatile
128.77.
aircraft. Doesn't mind the off-field stuff. Not at
Delta
all.
2296, turn left heading 300, intercept the localizer.
Left 300, Delta 226.
Well, I hope you've all had a great Thursday. It has been one busy week in my world of a middle school principal, but that's okay. That's what I like. It makes the days go by fast, and there's never the same day twice. But it sure is nice to be able to come home and unwind with a little bit of flight sim. Stuffed the junior first officer full of I think 3 hot dogs tonight, and a piece of corn on the cob as big as he was, and I don't know how many helpings of french fries and peaches. So he's upstairs terrorizing his Nama right now. You'll hear him scream and squeal here in a little bit because it'll be bath time. Yeah, about a half an hour or so. Okay, let's do the run up.
Loner, cleared out West runway 27 approach.
1500, mag check.
Yeah, that's on
Maybe.
27 approach, Delta
There we
226.
go.
Blue
Okay,
Star 60, runway 27, clear, land on the wind 310 at 7.
same RPM drop. That looks good.
Delta
Wrong one to cycle. Sorry about
4 mile
that.
final, runway 27, clear,
Cycle the
land.
prop. Good drop. Suction looks good. Alright, I think we're ready to go flying.
226.
Go flaps, 1 notch of flaps. Again, trim
April
looks
75, 50,
good.
Boston information
And-
X-ray, expect ILS runway 27 approach.
Oh man, sorry about that. Let's give this, let's get this bird in the air here. So north, again, 5 miles or so.
1457, uniform,
So we're
descend
gonna
and maintain
be,
1000, and take it
We're
off
going to be
limiter
setting the
2987.
timer here for about 5 minutes. If we hit 5 minutes, we need to start heading east,
57
basically.
uniform, thanks. If you can give me a good rate down, that'd be much appreciated. I left a bit high there.
No worries, you're getting good rate. 570 uniform.
And then once we get stable at 1,500 and we're heading east, then we'll check in with center and we'll see about that Bravo clearance, that Bravo transition. All right, here we go. Welcome aboard. Let's head to Nantucket.
Alpha Square 13 on flight level 102.
Alpha 3513, Boston Center. Hello?
Everything in the green over the pavement. This is kind of like the Wild West right here. And we're flying, boys and girls.
12,000, you requested cruising altitude, sir.
A little bit more of a crab on departure than I was anticipating, but that's okay. Alright, let's get ourselves heading north.
Maple 7554 at AB, join the runway 27 localizer.
Should be climbing out at about 90 here, and I'm way too slow. Pitching up way too much here. Let's get that under control.
Clear, and I'll be just right back with you.
Pull the power back just a little bit. Pull the RPMs back. Set climb power. 1,000 to go. There's 500 basically, so we'll bring the flaps up. Still not quite on that northerly heading. picking up a little bit more wind off our right side than active skies leading me to believe. Now it is at 3,000. I'm seeing a speed of 13 knots, which is much more. Really, what it feels like is a lot more like 13 knots than it does 1 knot, which is what it was on the ground. But
airspace Washington Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change for Southwest 6100. Good night.
Okay, there's 2 minutes. Again, we don't want to get to 5 minutes because we're going 90 knots, so 5 minutes is going to be more than 5 miles. We just, well, 5 to 7 miles. So once we get ourselves kind of in that range, I think we'll be ready to make that easterly turn. Take a look outside. I'm still hand flying this, so this could be scary. Oh, that's nice. See you, Plum Island. Love those little out of the way munis, man. They're awesome. Munis make the world go round, my friend. I tell you what, they are so fun. Okay, there's 3 minutes. We're 1300. We'll level out and honestly try to hand fly most of this tonight. It's been a while since I've been in the Skylane. I love this bird. I really, really do. We're not heading north anymore, by the way. We're kind of drifting. People ask me, why do you say that about every airplane that you fly? How is it possible that you can love everything that you simulate? And it's pretty simple, honestly. That's what we're called to do. And God tells us that we're to love all things, and He also tells us that love is infinite. You can't ever run out of love. And so it's kind of like if you think about with your kids, it doesn't matter if you have 2 kids or 5 kids, you have the same amount of love for all of them. And it's really it's one of the ways I think that He helps us maybe wrap our minds around the concept of infinity. And yeah, so it's obviously, this is a computer flight simulator. It's not real people, but it is possible to have quote unquote love for multiple things, and that actually means you're doing it right, in my opinion. Alright, so we are going to pull the RPMs back just a little bit here as well. I never did turn the landing lights on. I would turn them off right now anyway. We'll turn taxi lights off.
Boston Center, go to 2296, clear 27, rated taxi.
Beacon, yeah, I didn't get the nav. I didn't get the lights turned on. That was not a good job on my part. And okay, there is coming up on 5 minutes, so we're going to turn due east. We're going to try to maintain, or actually get down to our 1,500, and then we'll check in with Boston Center, see what he gives us here as far as a clearance through the Bravo. Pretty well direct Hyannis, or excuse me, Nantucket, with a little touch and go there at Hyannis. Let's get ourselves down though to 1,500 like we said we'd be, and then we'll check in.
November 6, Lima Papa Roger, descend paying 1,000, and you can expect that as your approach.
Roger, 1,000, 816, Papa. Boston Center, good evening, JetBlue, 91 at 17,000.
I'm having a hard time getting myself down to 1,500, man. This bird, she wants to fly, baby. What can I say?
Good evening, WestJet 45.
My friends are having fun.
WestJet 1045.
Be a lot of fun flying around this area, wouldn't it? Holy cow.
American 1853, contact New York Center 125.32.
Alright, switch over to New York Center, 125.32. Thanks for the help, man. You're killing it, American 1853.
Alright.
No problem, thank you.
Boston Center Delta 2296, clear of 27.
So here's the deal, alright? If you're wondering why it's a big deal, right now, these guys are kind of in a runway 27 configuration. They're landing west. We want to try to be cleared through this mess. He's going to have to figure out if it's going to be doable or not. So that's why he's wanting us to stay clear of the Bravo airspace initially. And again, if we have to, I mean, not a huge deal. We'll aim for some landmarks. You know, we'll aim for the edge of the little toe of Cape Cod there. I mean, it's not like we're not going to get there, but yeah, I'm almost more curious than anything. So I'm going to go ahead and make the call. The Boston Center Skylane 516 Delta Mike 1500, just crossing the coast east of Plum Island, again requesting a VFR transition through Bravo if possible.
November 516 Delta Mike, Boston Center, squawk 4661.
4661, 516 Delta Mike. Alright, step one. Four, 6, 6, 1. Enter. Make sure I'm squawking Charlie, which I am. Climbing up a little bit here. Let's pull the power back slightly. Tonight is definitely not about speed, my friends. VFR. Enjoy the ride. And he's looking at me going, dude, anything but
November 516
east.
Delta Mike, you are ready to contact. Let's call it 36 miles northeast of the Boston VOR. Altitude indicates 1,500. Maintain VFR. The Portsmouth altimeter is 2982.
Maintain VFR 2982, 516 Delta Mike, thanks. Alright, so he's got us on radar. He's cleared us to fly VFR, which means that we've got to stay clear of traffic. I mean, and so it's up to us to visually be watching what's going on around us in order to make sure that we're not getting in people's way and we're not becoming a hazard to anyone. And so south we go, essentially cleared directly to wherever we want to fly. I may end up tuning in a couple things just as a reference point, honestly. I think so Provincetown, so there's the Marconi. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Almost need to go
November 6 Lima Papa, descend to maintain
autopilot. So
we
have the Marconi VOR out here at 14.7, and what I want to do, I'm going to tune that in. I want to keep that to my east. If I know that's to my east, I know I'm in good shape. So 14.7.
Number 516 Delta Mike, I understand you would like to go right to the Nantucket Airport and transition to the Class Bravo airspace. Do you want to overfly Boston Airport, or do you want to go direct to Nantucket, sir?
Actually, if able, we'd like to go direct Hyannis first for touch and go, and then direct Nantucket.
November 516 Delta Mike, Roger. What's your requested altitude to transition to Bravo, sir?
1,500 for 516 Delta Mike.
Number 516 Delta Mike, if you fly directly from where you are right now to the Hyannis Airport, you should remain clear of the Bravo. Should keep you below and actually just outside of the lateral boundary as well.
Okay, that works too. If we get out of where we're not supposed to be, just give us a holler. 516 Delta Mike.
Okay.
He knows me.
1591 Cross Depot.
And he knows that I'm new at this. So, okay, so I've tuned in. The Marconi VOR, which is out here, kind of again on the little toe of tip of the boot, if you will, of Cape Cod. So we want to keep that out here, which right now we are west of course, which is what we want. Picking up a little bit of a land mass here. So where I think we actually are is here. I think we're going to be looking at the Rockport. Remember we said that could be our like a little bit of a waypoint if we needed to. And he's saying actually, oh yeah, so here's what he's saying. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. Alright, let's see if we can get this plugged in.
Boston Center radar contact.
I think what's happened here is this. So we went north, kind of like so. Right there-ish. Went east, kind of like so. There-ish. And now we're just hitting the edge of Rockport. And so he's saying we'll actually be clear. Excuse me, clear of the Bravo, and he's right. This blue line represents the edge of the Bravo airspace. So that's good. That actually makes it even easier for him. He can monitor us as well, but he doesn't have to worry about us being in the way. Oh boy, that doesn't look good. What the heck's going on there? I just want to turn on my radio stack and panel.
Actually, I have your first question just momentarily after that.
Why does that look ugly? Holy cow, that looks terrible. Alright, well, we're pretty well trimmed out, honestly. And now, yeah, it's just about, I would say, 45 minutes or so, and we'll be down in Nantucket. Hyannis is about 30 miles north of Nantucket, so that'll be about the halfway point for us.
American 2140, turn left at 300, intercept the runway 27 localizer.
There's supposed to be a lighthouse here according to SkyVector. I wonder if it's modeled. The Rockport Lighthouse. Thatcher Island National Wildlife Refuge. We'll see here. Well, if you've come across any of my streams, you know that I fly in the Boston area quite a bit, and there is a reason, and you're going to hear it tonight. If you've never been up here and you've never heard these guys, these controllers, they're top notch. Number one, they're very professional, very skilled, very good at what they do. But they do as good a job as any airspace on VATSIM of working with new pilots, kind of like myself, inexperienced pilots that are trying to increase their skills. They actually have a very, very good pilot rating program, and I think they've partnered with the VATSTAR folks, and it's just a fantastic program. I've went through it, and I've done the VFR and the IFR portions, and it just was really, really informative. But what it does is it opens up a bunch of new types of flying that you can do on VATSIM, and then it's just a matter of going out and doing it, and not being afraid of making a mistake. You would think you'd get to a busy airspace like Boston, and it would they would be high strung and not wanting you to make any mistakes and all that good stuff, but it's quite the opposite. They really encourage all kinds of traffic, despite the fact that they are a very, very busy active airspace, because they get it. They understand that the two go hand in hand. Great flight sim flying experience is created by excellent ATC, and ATC knows without the aircraft, their night's honestly pretty boring. We saw that a little bit up in Alaska last time we were flying. You know, they were those guys are fantastic as well. They were just dying for traffic. They were dying for some action. So
cleared NDB Alpha approach.
That's one thing that these guys really, really understand, and they really make you feel welcome when you're up here, because they're learning themselves.
JetBlue 170, descend to maintain flight level 230, clear at Proby.
I'm not seeing any lighthouse per se. That's too bad. What's that? No. Some buildings out here. Autogen. Not a ton of. I mean, there's some Orbix airports out here, without a doubt. I mean, where we just departed, Plum Island, is an Orbix airport, and Minuteman, where we're heading, is an Orbix airport. But in terms of like mesh and things like that, not a ton of that out here. This is pretty much like global mesh, and with the mixture of trees and vector and stuff like that. Might be getting a little bit of a sunset here, guys.
Alpha 3513, Concord altimeter 29090.
Don't have a very good camera angle here. Alright, so we're actually going
for you. Reset transponder, please.
A little bit further to the west than we want to be. So let's get ourselves back on that southerly heading. One thing we don't want to do, if we creep west, then we infringe on that Bravo airspace, and so we don't want to do that, because we don't have a ton of wiggle room here. So we're going to try to make sure that we stay south.
American 2140, runway 27, wind 310 at 12, clear to land.
Runway 27, American 2140.
Alpha 3513, squawk 4606, please. 4606.
Squawking 4606, Alpha 3513.
Air Canada 694, leaving the airspace. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. November 6th, Lima Papa, no traffic observed between you and the airport. Report cancellation of by far missed approach on this frequency. Change to advisory frequency is approved.
816 Lima Papa, Roger, will call airport and
Roger. Actually, yeah, you can remain this frequency and just let me know when you have the field. Sorry about that.
816 Lima Papa, Roger.
Air Canada 694, radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Delta 1999, radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Man, we're climbing just a little bit. I don't know why. They don't have the altitude arm is why.
Yeah, you did.
Let's get back down to 1500. So let's see, what else can I tell you here, guys? Just a couple of adjustments on the channel. We have to adjust some of our. Oh, hey, sorry. I need to, before I get to the to the calendar here. I need to say hello to Slash French. Hello, sir. Sorry I missed you there. I was kind of fiddling around a little bit with some different things. Yeah, if you got the A2A, man, hop on. We're flying Plum Island down to Hyannis, and then we're going to do a touch and go there, and then we're going to end up down at Nantucket. Then we're going to turn around from Nantucket, head back north, probably hit Martha's Vineyard for a quick touch and go, and then finish up at the Minuteman airfield. So thanks, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for checking in, and good to see you again.
November 4325
So adjustment to flight schedule. So part of the job, part of the day job working in the school district is when Friday nights come. I'm no longer a coach like I used to be, but I do try to help out with the football games, the home games that they have here, and so the next few Fridays I thought I'd be okay this Friday because they have a 0-week game, and so it doesn't count as a real game, and I thought the high school team was on the road, but they're actually at home, and they need me to do some announcing, so I'm not going to be able to participate in that I-90 Washington event, which bums me out because it's another GA event, and it's one of the rare FNOs that really has a focus on GA traffic. So I'm bummed I'm going to miss that, but hopefully I'll be able to tune into some of my friends' streams, because I've got a bunch of them that like to fly the GA, and I'll just live vicariously through you guys like I normally do. Yeah, listening to my take on VATSIM. I'm a big fan of VATSIM Slash, and you have to know one thing. I started knowing nothing about ATC and VATSIM and all that good stuff. I actually started out, I kind of have like an AD and a BC life as far as flight sim goes. I mean, I'm like a lot of people here. I grew up messing with computers and flying sims and this and that. And I remember in high school when we got our first external hard drive, and it was 1 megabyte, and we were all freaking out because it was so much storage, and we could finally fly the that F-16 fighter flight sim that our teacher had bought. Anyway, but life happens. You go to college, you do different things, you get married, you have kids, etc., etc. And you don't do flight. I didn't do flight sim the whole time, but I came back about 7 years ago, and I got involved with a free sim called GEFS. It was Google Earth Flight Sim. Now it's called GEOFS because they've sort of upgraded, and it's a great bunch of guys. I don't get back there hardly at all anymore, which is a shame because the community is unbelievable, and it's just all like a bunch of really, really talented coders that are doing some awesome things. I have no doubt they're going to be big time by the time it's all said and done. But anyway, that was about 7 years ago, and then I just sort of got back into the swing of things, I guess. But I only really got back into the VATSIM side of it probably about 5 years ago, and I remember distinctly, I remember loading up a flight, and I was up here. I was in Boston. I was at the Boston area, and I was in the PMDG 737 because naturally, when you get right back into flight sim, you want to pick an easy aircraft to learn, right? Wink, wink. But I remember thinking to myself, you know what? If you're going to do this, you might as well go all in. And so I loaded up. I was at one of the terminals, default everything except for the PMDG. Just had figured out how to work vPilot and all that good stuff. And I just remember I was almost shaking as I clicked connect. But I sat and listened to the controller for about probably 10 minutes while I was setting things up. And I listened to I don't even remember who the controller was, but I listened to his interactions with about a half a dozen pilots, and I realized that basically 4 of the 6 pilots were almost the same experience level as me. They were rookies, they were green, they didn't really know exactly what they were doing in the proper protocol and the proper way to talk to ATC. But the way that those guys interacted with them put me completely at ease, and anyway, I've just come back ever since. I mean, that first flight of mine, I'm sure it was brutal. I'm sure the guys were like, oh boy, here we go, another newbie. You know, buckle up. What do they call those guys down south? The bless your heart guys. I was one of those guys, but I think they're so good at what they do that they understand where new people are coming from, and they do a really good job of, and they have a desire. They want to get you up to speed because they want everything in the area to be just be really professional. And
on the landline.
Anyway, so I've always had a, you know, I guess a soft spot. That's not the right word, but yeah, slash French. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's scary when you first start talking, but then after a while you're like, you know, they're doing it for the same reason you're doing it. They're doing it because they love it. It's for them, for the most part, it's a hobby. But some of them, I mean, I know they're training, they're practicing for actual real world stuff, real world controlling and things like that. But I think really truly at the core of it, these guys do it because they love it. They wouldn't if they didn't, because they're on for hours and hours every week. And it is hard. I mean, at one time I was thinking a little bit about, you know what, it'd be kind of fun to learn how to be an ATC. I took a look at that. I'm like, holy buckets, man! That is crazy. The amount of it's like a master's degree worth of information that you have to learn. So anyway, much respect. Love what those guys bring to the sim, and that was at the end of the day, the reason why I kind of moved away from, I guess, GEOFS, Google Earth Flight Sim, and onto VATSIM and P3D, at the time it's FSX, was because of the air traffic. That was the ATC was what was missing for me, and I loved the chatter, and I loved listening to great ATC and great radio, just from both ends, but great conversation. I was that guy that would always, when I was on the plane, I would always try to tune in to the radio frequency if they made that available. Yeah. So anyway, I digress. We're flying over mist here, so I'm trying to fill some time here a little bit also. But yeah, pilotage, that's VATSIM to the next level, right? And I mean, yeah, there's several guys I follow on Twitch that's why I follow them, is because they're pilotage guys. And honestly, I see myself.
516 Delta Mike, contact Boston approach 118.2.
1820 516 Delta Mike. Have a great night. Get back to that thought here in just a second. Alright, so my check-in here. Well, here's the hard part. I don't really have a reference, a great reference of where I'm at. I'm 22 miles kind of to the northeast of Marconi. That's going to have to be my check-in. Now, Boston approach. Good evening, Skylane 516 Delta Mike 1500, 22 miles to the northwest of Marconi.
Number 516 Delta Mike, Boston approach. Good afternoon. Get altimeter 29 or 89.
29 or 89er. Thank you, 516 Delta Mike. Alright, so let me just get this set and I'll get back to kind of to the chat messages here. Okay, so yeah, about right there. So yeah, I mean, oh yeah, so you've been on it for, yeah, and that's what I hear. It's like you can't go back. And you know. So, but I think the thing about Pilot Edge that really is appealing to me is it's top to bottom air traffic coverage, and so you really get that, you really get that good practice, and I think it's especially good for like GA guys, you know, so yeah, I'm pretty impressed with those guys. I like I said, I follow several that fly there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Slash, they kind of have limited areas, so like they decide that they're going to cover, you know, SoCal one night and maybe Minnesota another night. They kind of move around and kind of combine their resources. Is that how that works? Okay. Are they pretty well nationwide, or maybe I misunderstood that? Western USA. Okay, well that's cool. I mean, that's a great place to fly. And so there's an extra cost to that, right? That's another subscription-based deal, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. 8 to 11 daily. Nice. Yeah, it's super interesting, and so I'm kind of holding out for a couple of things. I'll tell you here after we sort of check our maps. So we're getting close. By the way, we tuned in just as a reference point this Marconi VFR or Vortex, excuse me. So when we you know, we're getting pretty close, I think, to being where we should be. I'm going to spin this around here, and when it's, we may actually be, yeah, so we're actually not quite due east of it. When that guy comes down to the east, we're going to be right in line with Marconi, and then at that point in time, whoops, sorry about that. At that point in time, I think we will start to, there is nothing down here that we can tune, unfortunately. I don't even think there's an NDB. There's Falmouth, which that's Martha's Vineyard, so that's over here. We don't want to tune that. That's not going to help us. There's Nauset, which we could do an NDB here if we wanted to. 279er, but you know, to be perfectly honest, I think if we just continue on, it's only 20 miles down there, so we'll probably just continue kind of on the same track. Keep our eye peeled for, again, when we're due west of Marconi. And I tell you what, here, this is another part of flying in the East Coast. It's pretty light out where I live still, but I like to fly real time, and it's getting kind of darkish, so we might have to, on our return trip, we may have to file an IFR route here, and actually that might kind of be fun to do that just for some variety. So yeah, $20 monthly. Yeah, so and I think it's worth every penny, right? I mean, full coverage for the Western U.S., 3 hours every day, and it's not. I mean, I think VATSIM. I think VATSIM has some fantastic controllers, but Pilot Edge, the thing that separates them from VATSIM is not only do they have the great controllers, but they have the voice is the whatever they're using for their codec there. The voice is crystal clear and really solid. I don't know, it's a good deal. Hey, Downwind Sim, checking in, man. I am more rested. Actually, it's been a couple of long nights. I came home early today. ran around with the junior first officer and had an absolute blast, and that kind of refreshed me. And so I was just talking at the beginning of the stream here. He ate 3 hot dogs tonight and about 3 helpings of French fries and a piece of corn on the cob that was as big as he was, and then his dad took him for a while, and now he's up there terrorizing his Nama. So I came down here to fly at the Boston area, one of my favorite spots. So we're actually heading into Nantucket, and we're just about we're northwest of Marconi here, and we're going to do a touch and go. Let me show you what we're doing here, downwind, in case you want to join us. I'm trying to talk Slash French into joining us here as well. We're kind of right up in here, basically, and we're going to be no, I'm sorry, we're kind of right up here, and we're going to be coming down. I want to do a touch and go at Hyannis because I want to give that controller a little bit of love, and then after the touch and go, we're going to fly down direct to Nantucket and do a full stop, and then figure out. I want to go from Nantucket back up via Martha's Vineyard, because again there's controllers there and I want to give them some action, but we're going to end up back up here. I can't find it, but there's a little airport called Minuteman or something up here in this area somewhere. Promise me, trust me, it's there. So that's what we're doing, and let's see here. Let me get back into my chat. Yeah, the starts are peeking out. Yeah, Martha's Vineyard. Them. Oh yeah, Block Island. It is. You're right. Okay. So don't tell Mrs. First Officer, but I made a couple of scenery purchases for tonight's event, and yeah, so the Plum Island, which is what I have here, it's a part of a 2-for-1 with the Minuteman, and it was like 18 bucks. Okay, it was, you know, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like mega. It wasn't like I went out and bought a DC-8 or something from Aerosoft. Whoops, like I did last month. But I digress. I'm an old man. I got no hobbies anymore. Nobody wants to go fishing with me. You know, I can't play golf anymore. You know, my glory days of City League softball are behind me. I got to have something. Okay, hey, we're just about due west of Marconi. That's cool. So we've got about 24 miles. A little bit of traffic here. We are VFR, so we got to stay clear of that guy. But we're well below him. We're at 1,500. Yeah, no coffee shop for me for the next day. Yeah.
516 Delta Mike, traffic unknown, 12 o'clock, altitude unknown.
And we see the traffic. Looks like he's well above us. 516 Delta Mike. Yeah.
516 Delta Mike, roger, maintain visual separation.
We'll go 516 Delta Mike. Okay, so, alright, Slash French, he's tempting me with Pilot Edge, which, Slash, you don't even know how close I've come to pulling that trigger already many times. Downwind, he's throwing peer pressure at me for X-Plane, which that's probably something else I've had the credit card info in. I'm hovering over the submit button. I just haven't quite done it yet. But here's the thing that always slows me down. Let me see if I can find it. Here's what keeps me from making major purchases. I'll buy some scenery every now and again, but this is what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Dead Stick Bush Flight Simulator. Release date coming soon. You know that's going to be, it's going to be 60, 70, 80 bucks, isn't it? I mean, it's just going to be that much. So I am trying to save a little bit. I gotta have that. I just, downwind knows he's got the bug now too. He's one of us. I have to have that. I just do. So anyway, but yeah, Slash. So at the end of the day, man, I see myself becoming a member of Pilot Edge, and because I think it really looks. I really think it looks like a great platform, a great community. Oh, okay. Downwind, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I just pulled that up as a Google search. Yeah, I would buy it directly from the Laminar website. All right, so okay, guys, I need to make a quick call here because what do we have for? Well, I don't have. I have, so there's Hyannis ground, I guess. So these guys, wait. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a call. I want to go ahead and request a touch and go at Hyannis. Let me get my bearings still. Let me get my weather so I know where I want to go. So the weather, is there an ATIS at Hyannis? I'd be surprised. Oh, there is. Never mind, I don't even have to look at active sky. Information Delta. Winds are calm, good visibility, clear, 10 statute miles, you gotta love that. 29 or 88. Oh, I don't know if did I adjust that? 29 or 88. I think it needs to come down one. Yeah. Runways 24 and 15 are in use, so I'm gonna just, I think it's over there. Let's make the call. Yeah, Boston approach, Skyline 516 Delta Mike. I'd like to request touch and go Hyannis runway 24.
516 Delta Mike, Roger. The field is at your 1 to 2 o'clock in about 10 miles per film set.
And we have the field, 516 Delta Mike.
516 Delta Mike, contact Hyannis, top 119.5.
1950 516 Delta Mike, talk to you in a few.
TOS not available.
119.5, transfer. Hyannis Tower, good evening, Skyline 516 Delta Mike. About 10 miles to the northeast of the airfield inbound. We'd like to request touch and go runway 24.
TOS available.
516 Delta Mike, Hyannis for help. A enter straight in from the port and pay attention after the touch and go.
Okay, straight in runway 24 for the touch and go, and then we would like to be departing south, direct Nantucket, 516 Delta Mike.
We're 516 Delta Mike, roger.
All right, so there we go. I don't honestly know if I have made a landing at Hyannis. Yeah, slash French, I'm telling you. You know, if you're a Cessna 182 guy, if you're a Skyline guy, then I know you've messed around in the backcountry, man. And yeah, me and my boy Downwind, we're starting to learn that Idaho country just a little bit. We messed around actually up in Alaska last week at this time, and kind of had actually a pretty epic adventure. It was 5.5 hours of bush flying. It was pretty dang fun. It was the long haul of bush flying, and I don't think we ever Downwind, did we ever get more than 50 miles from the airport that we started? I don't think we did, but we saw a lot of country. Oh, nice. Made it into McKay. So I'm gonna finish watching that stream. I did read your blog post. It was pretty good. I made a couple of comments, so you might check it out there. Yeah, it was, and that's the fun part about up there where we were at, is you're just right on the southern edge of Denali, and so you've got so many options of things. So yeah, slash, we're all over the place, and that's just me. I have ADHD, buddy. I can't. My goal, I don't have a lot of goals on this stream, but one of them is I don't want to fly the same plane twice in 2 nights. So so where to go to learn about that? Well, I think you're at the right spot. I think you just maybe do a search for, I can give you a few of the guys I follow, and that's essentially, I'll be honest with you, all I do is copy them, you know. Downwind Sim, he's got this cool like intro music thing that I need to learn how to do, and Slant Alpha Adventures is another guy that I follow, and he's like this super knowledgeable hybrid pilot slash ATC guy that he flies nothing but radio navigation. So yeah, Slant Alpha Adventure. So if you, yeah, just one word, Slant Alpha, ALPHA. Let's see, guys. I have actually right now. Well, let me land first, then I'll go through my guys that I follow, because that's all I've done is essentially I've just copycatted people that know more than me. But there's a bunch out there, and then you just like, I like to use OBS. It's a free
Mike, when calm, really clear touch and go on departure left crosswind.
Clear for the touch and go runway 24 on departure left crosswind 516 Delta Mike. A little high right now. I need to focus on what I'm doing. This is, I have a bad habit of this. Alright. Altimeter set. Landing taxi lights are on.
Highness tower number 228 inbound full stop.
Alright, about 70 knots is just about right.
Information Delta is current. Enter 2-mile left base behind a Cessna on 2.5 miles.
Alright, we're giving that guy some traffic, buddy.
2-mile left base, follow that Cessna number 2028.
Love when these guys put these little regional circuits on, and
100.
I always feel bad if they don't have some steady traffic, because they're working too. They're trying to get better. Okay. Calm winds. I can't blame anything on any wind right now. That's usually my go-to excuse downwind.
Highness tower 242 micro tells with you with information Delta, ready for full stop landing.
242 Mike Hotel, Hyannis Tower. Good evening, traffic 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, approximately 2.5 miles, same altitude, same direction, is a PA-24.
Flaps full.
Also inbound. Let me know when you have that traffic.
I have that traffic inside my hotel.
Let's see how we do
Roger,
here.
you're going to follow that traffic in.
Flared early, I don't know why.
Left base for runway 24.
Hold it off, hold it off, hold it off.
On the traffic, entering 2-mile left base for runway 24, number 2.
Ah, bouncer. Dang it. Alright, flaps to 1. Check my trim. Alright, that looks good. 1 bouncer. Not too bad. We'll take her. Alright, prop and throttle full forward. Let's head on out again. We're going to head basically 180. I don't think it's quite directly south, but it's close. Yeah, this is a nice little airfield, man. I'll tell you what. Kind of cool. Alright, let's get to 90 knots. Let's try to climb out of here in a halfway controlled fashion. Make our left crosswind.
2028 wind calm runway 24 clear for option.
Clear for option, runway 24, number 20.
Hyannis Tower, if you're paying attention, thanks for the ATC, man. Hope to see you around sometime. Much appreciated.
Mike Hotel, enter that base lake.
Alright, let me get,
Basically down.
I tried to get back up to 1,500, then I'll see how much trash Downwind Sim's been talking here.
028 after this touch and go where we'd like to head.
Full stop.
Alright, so generally, if I was looking right at my map here, generally about a 174
Mike Hotel, if you could reduce
heading.
miles, the traffic is falling now on short mile.
Sorry, I'm not quite stable right now, as you can see. Flaps can come up. Should have come up a while ago, but that's okay. Let's get it leveled off. Let's get it trimmed out. Let's get our speed where it needs to be. Let's get to 1,500 if we can. And then we'll check up on the chat messages here.
6 Delta Mike, reach station group today.
Alright, thanks for the ATC. We'll see you next time, 6 Delta Mike. Boston approach, hello again, Skylane 516 Delta Mike. We're climbing 1,000, direct Nantucket, requesting full stop into Nantucket.
516 Delta Mike, identity.
Alright, we may be too low for him. I don't know what altitude he picks us up.
516 Delta Mike, radar contacts 4 miles south of the Moses Vineyard Christian, the Hyannis Airport. Altitude indicates 1,200, proceed on course.
On course, 516 Delta Mike. Okay, get up there. And alright, let's see. Oh yeah, so OBS or yeah, Streamlabs OBS actually is what I upgraded to. It's free, it's easy. Some guys do some pretty dang amazing things on it. I'm still learning how to use it, and there's a long way for me to go on that. But a guy that has, I mean, I'm not a streamer. I was able to get it up and running fairly quickly. Thanks, Slash. Thanks for the nice landing. Yeah, not too bad. Giddy up, downwind. Downwind knows my history, and yeah, a one bouncer in the Skylane's really not really better. It's about 2 bounces better than usual. So, all right. So down. So.
16 Mike contact Boston approach 124.05.
2405 Skylane 516 Delta Mike. See it. Getting a little too high here. Wonder if I can pull my power back just a little bit. 12405. Transfer. And let's see. I'm gonna grab the ATIS real quick before I check in. Looks like information Bravo. Looks like 2104. A little bit trickier visibility. So 5 statute miles of visibility. It's broken, and we're gonna need an ILS approach runway 24. So I'm gonna have to. That's okay. We can do that. So, and Boston approach. Good evening, Skylane 516 Delta Mike at 1,500. We're inbound Nantucket, requesting full stop runway 24.
516 Delta Mike, Boston approach, indicate altimeter 2990.
2990, 6 Delta Mike. Okay, I got some work to do here in the next 20 miles or so. Whoa, easy, easy, easy. All right, let me show you what we've got. So run ILS 24. All right, I'm gonna have to. I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to do this. Hold on for a second here. It's tough to do both, as you maybe have figured out here. I'm not a multitasker. Arm that altitude 1500. That'll work. Okay, heading mode. All right, so ILS 24 into Nantucket. Let's get what we need to get here. 1091 is the VOR frequency, 241 is the heading. We have an elevation of about 47 feet. All right, let me plug that in. 1091. Whoops. Oh, heck. 10. Oh, that doesn't work very well because that's not the VOR frequency, that's the COM frequency that I'm trying to change. Yeah, no wonder. I made that mistake before. Wonder why. 109 decimal 1. Alright, much better. Okay, we're below the glide slope. That looks good. And then the course is 241. So let me spin that around. 241. So we're actually going to be somewhat almost on the base leg right now, which is not intentional, but you know, hey, we'll take it. We may get some vectors here. I don't know how close to the runway we are, but we're only at 1,500 now. The other thing I should look at here that I didn't, they might request me. Okay, so yeah, the initial approach fix is 2,000. They might request me to climb to 2,000 here if they vector me out here to, is that Obu? I don't know how you say that, Obub. Anyway, I don't know if they will or not, but even at waves I'm supposed to be above 1,600, so I'm expecting, I'm anticipating a little bit of a maybe a,
Nantucket at your 12 o'clock, 12 miles, reporting sir.
okay, looking for the field, 516 Delta Mike. I'm anticipating maybe a climb and not seeing anything just yet. I did that just for you, downwind. Alright, got some chatter going on. Sorry, guys. Yeah, bush flying would bounce all the way down the sandbar. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Trim is set. Yeah, and slash. I love feedback. This is a fun aircraft. I am in no way an expert at it. I don't have a ton of hours. Probably a couple hundred hours is all.
516 Delta Mike, contact Nantucket Tower 118.3 so long.
1830 516 Delta Mike, so long. So please, if you notice something that oh shoot, if you notice something I'm doing that's not right or something like that that would help out, I'm all ears, man. So I appreciate the feedback. He said tower 1830. I love it when people that know more than me hop on and help me out. I'm all for that. And Nantucket Tower, good evening, November 516 Delta Mike. We're inbound ILS runway 24 full stop. I do not have the runway. I don't have the airfield.
November 516 Delta Mike, Nantucket Tower. You think you're on the ILS currently?
I am, just because that's what the ATIS recommended, but we could take the visual if that works easier for you. 6 Delta Mike.
6 Delta Mike. Yeah, no, I'm showing you just north of the airport right now, quite a ways offset from the localizer. Do you have the field in place?
Oh. And my apologies, I reported that incorrectly. I'm expecting, or I'm requesting, I guess, the ILS runway 24. We do not have the airfield in sight. 516 Delta Mike.
November 516 Delta Mike. If you'd like the ILS 24 approach, need vectors for that approach, contact approach 124.05 unless you'd like to just continue inbound.
We actually would just like to continue inbound and fly the visual. 516 Delta Mike. Yeah, that actually makes it a lot easier for me.
516 Delta Mike, roger. Enter right base runway 24.
Okay, enter right base runway 246 Delta Mike. Okay, so I probably with the weather,
Or 5169 Golf. Apollo.
I probably would have entered the information for an ILS approach anyway, just because again, this helps me get a visual picture of what I'm doing. So I'm now actually I'm flying. I'm going to be too high. So there's the island. This will help me know when I need to turn base. This is worse visibility than I thought, but I'm okay. There's the airfield. All right, so now 6 Delta Mike, we see the airfield.
6 Delta Mike, roger. Wind 210, runway 24, clear to land.
Runway 24, clear to land. 516 Delta Mike. All right. Let's see here. We've got, so we blew right through the localizer, by the way. Let me turn this off. I don't need to have that on. Alright, so, yeah, so I'm thinking trim. I'm trim. We're actually very, very close to the airport. I didn't realize we were this close to the airport. So that's why he's probably wondering why we want the ILS. We needed to be several miles further away. Yeah, so but that's all part of the deal. That's VFR flying out here in the Cape Cod area. I better get my speed down here if I plan on having any chance of throwing some flaps in. This is actually a long enough runway that I wouldn't need to have any kind of flaps, but I do kind of like that for a little bit of stability, that ground effect. Okay, we're coming up on it.
516 Golf. Say you wanted a full stop or a touch and go landing?
I was going for closed shop.
Alright, we're in flap speed. We're going to put a notch in here. We're going to try to trim it out.
Golf, roger.
There is our runway, just about ready to make that turn to final.
Skylane now on a 2-mile
Yeah, Skylane, buddy. Get it right. Just kidding. Alright, there we go. I think we can turn final. So I got to tell you a good story about this these controllers here in Nantucket, but let me make sure I get down to one piece first here. Probably one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in flight sim. And I'm going to say it because I'm guessing he's listening, because he was listening last time. How did I get high? That's not inconceivable. Can't be that high. Alright, tossing in a second notch of flaps. I'm super fast right now. What am I doing at 90 knots? Come on. Come on. Got some traffic down there. Gotta love it. Got that Nantucket haze going on. Little gust of wind right there trying to pick the nose up. Alright, there we go. Speed's down a little bit closer to where it needs to be. About 70 is what I'd like to see. Having a hard time trimming it right here. Slash, that's what you're talking about. Got to get that. It's hard. It's a hard aircraft to trim at slow speeds. I find anyway. Okay, altimeter set. We never did turn the landing and taxi lights off. So landing checklist complete. A little slow. Final notch of flaps are coming in. Still saying I'm high, but it can't be that bad. Can I? Yeah, let's find out. Oh, getting pushed a little there. Alright, Just trying to get it down. Oh boy. Yeah, that was a big flare. And that wasn't very pretty either. Don't mind that stall horn chirping at you just a tiny bit, but you don't want the continuous stall warning. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere in the POH. But you know what? We're down. Yeah, we're down. Downwind sim.
Mike, make your next right turn. Traffic now, half mile final.
Okay, we're vacating right turn here, 6 Delta Mike. I expect harsh reviews from
Mike, thanks. Went off the runway. Contact ground 132.5.
over to ground, 6 Delta Mike. Thanks, we'll see it. Alright, so let's get, I think we're plenty clear. We're going to stop here though for a second. And 32, what do you say, 3250? We'll do that. 3250. Alright. Nantucket ground, good evening. Skylane 516 Delta Mike, we're clear at 24. Just like to taxi into really any area so we can set up for another leg of the flight. Just straight ahead really would work.
Okay, perfect. The 516 Delta Mike, Nantucket ground. Taxi to the general aviation ramp via Bravo Echo Alpha.
Bravo Echo Alpha 516 Delta Mike. I don't think I went that far down, did I? I can't find for the life of me. It's got to be up here. Got to be up here. Okay, so before I jump over, Slash French, thanks for stopping in, man, and yeah, we hope to see you again. We just have a lot of fun here. There's Alpha, lucky enough to find it, and yeah, you know, hop in the Skylane at some point and join us. Would love to have you along, and love to pick your brain about you know, things to do to make this bird even that much more enjoyable. So take care, buddy. God bless, and we'll see you on the TCAS. All right, downwind sim. Let's go back here because there was some stuff going on here. Oh, Slash French, yeah, man. Thanks for the recommendation. FSX map. Yep. Quick airport runway altitude frequency. Oh, I haven't heard of that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks for the compliment on the ATC. Yeah, I'm still pretty new. Downwind sim. He's trying to give me more cred than I deserve. Ooh, look at that, man. There comes some traffic. What's he doing on the left base, maybe?
Ground,
Sweet. So yeah, a little white lie. Aren't we all newbies? Aren't we all just learning? If we weren't newbies, we'd be in a real cockpit, right? I don't know. It's fun. I like to consider myself new, learning it all the time. Oh, dang it. I don't have, whatever that is landing, I don't have a model match because it's, ooh, there's a touch and go. Alright, nice job. Okay, so let's see here. Alright, hop back over here, and we're going to plot our next leg, our return leg, sort of. Oh, not Plum Island, 6B6, 6 Bravo 6. So this is another part of the scenery I bought. We never had this conversation, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, Slash, check it out. I'm gonna right now I'm gonna head over to your channel, and I'm gonna follow you so that when you get things rolling, man, I'll have a little notification pop up. So yeah, I followed you officially. So sorry, guys. So I'll see you when you make that first video, man. I'll be ready. dry throat action going here. All right, so Nantucket, I really want to hit, no nothing, see nothing. Yeah, I really want to hit Martha's Vineyard, just because, again, I want to throw these guys, toss them a little bit of love. You know, they're taking the time, they're setting up an event, and they've got full, I mean, ground, tower, approach. They got everything in there, so we gotta stop in there. They've got 4 arrivals coming in. Let's give that guy some love. I did have a, yeah, did have fun hitting hiatus. How do you, what do you? Barnstable, Hyannis. All right, enough of that. So I want to end up at Minuteman. So again, we're gonna have to kind of plan accordingly. And let's see here. We could. I think we could still be, depending on the weather. Once we get out of here, I think we could be okay. Oh, thanks, Slash. Appreciate the follow, man. Like I say, we're on most nights about this time, so yeah. Looking forward to talking with you some more. Thanks again, man. All right, so we could really do like a little. Wait, that's a. All right, so here's part of where I have some trouble. So this is New Bedford is controlled airspace. So is this a? I think this is a class Delta. Yeah. So I would not want to be in there without permission. But if I went to Taunton Municipal, that's uncontrolled. That would be something that I could maybe shoot for. That's an airfield I could look for. Then Mansfield, I could fly direct over Mansfield, and I could actually just kind of pick my way around the Bravo here at Hopedale. Then Marlboro, yeah, that looks good. And then why do I have? It's like I don't know why I have that. I don't want that. I want 6 Bravo 6 to be my arrival airport. All right, I got a lot of extra airfields in here somehow. All right, how does that look? Nope, not quite. I want to go to Taunton. Put that in there. I want to go, because that should keep me just outside of the Delta. And I want to go to Mansfield. Boy, I can hear the plugs fouling as we sit here. You increase the RPMs a little bit here. All right, let's get this out of here. Don't want that. Don't want that. Here's where I wish that I had maybe loaded my Navigraph maps. It's a little bit easier to build this type of flight plan in Navigraph maps. That's okay. All right, Mansfield. Then we said we will go to, this is Hopedale, and then pretty much north through Marlboro and then into Minuteman. All right, I think we can do that. VFR, we're gonna have to, let's see, 2,500 I think is gonna be okay. Let's just make sure there's no terrain I'm not noticing. 1,300, that's MSA. Yeah, oh, there's 2,400 over here as we get a little bit closer to Worcester, as it was. Go west of the Delta, you think? So, like down here-ish, you think? Then up north, like maybe to westerly, you think? Hit Martha's Vineyard and then maybe come down here. We could do that. Hit Westerly State. Then you could maybe hit something like what do we have here? Well, Limonadic. But this right here is a no, that's not a, that's a Vortac ring, isn't it? Yeah. Could do touch and go at Block Island. Where the heck is that Block Island right down there? Yeah, I could, I guess. Alright, you talked me into it, my friend. Block Island. Okay, so then we're gonna, let's take this off here real quick. Block Island. We'll leave Westerly State on there.
Pacific Ground, Skyhawk 5090, Papa.
And we could go Danielson.
Skyhawk 5090, Papa, and ground.
Right there. And yeah, all this is uncontrolled airspace here. This is the only thing to worry about. It's right here. But I'm a little nervous, so talk me through this, downwind. Is this ring, is that a Delta ring? I don't think it is. I don't see an airport inside here. I think that's just the ring that's showing the range of this Preston Vortac, right?
Skyhawk 5090, Papa.
Alright, we're gonna go with it. I guess if we get hollered at, we get hollered at.
Sorry, I think you already copied, cut out.
Okay, so then
Skyhawk 5090, Papa,
go from,
to the Martha's Vineyard
what is that,
Airport,
Danielson.
via radar vectors direct.
We want to stay away from
Departure for 24,
Worcester.
05,
What is this? This is a 42-mile stretch here. In the dark, might be kind of a big ask. Maybe we, yeah, geez, if we head over here, it looks pretty good on the map, Hopedale. But boy, if you miss that, you're flying right into the Bravo, and you're going to get in trouble. But all right, we're going to go for it. So VFR.
Attention all aircraft, information, 80s information, Charlie, no crime.
Charlie, all right, good to know. Okay, downwind, you joining me, or are you just gonna ride first officer tonight?
5090, Papa, we're 172.
Where's my? Lost my notes here. Okay.
5090, Papa, second message, crap.
All right, so Charlie, yep, we're gonna pick up Charlie here real quick via the text. We've got 220 at 4, 6 statute miles is broken. Yeah, 29er 9er 1. Ooh, I need to turn my, I'm gonna have to turn my glare shield on here. Getting a little dark. 29er 9er 1. That's what I have. Okay, cool. All right. Well, this guy's doing some good pattern work here. I'll give him some credit. So we are departing runway 24 and 15. So let's just get again a sense of where we're at here.
Kentucky ground, Canadian Express 491 ready.
Right up here. Oh, so we got 15.
Flight plan, or VFR clearance to Martha's Vineyard. Flight plan filed with Charlie.
Aha, I recognize that voice.
Charlie Express 591, and then ticket ground, hello, no VFR clearance needed. Runway 24, taxi via Hotel Golf. Cross runway 15.
Looks like they want us out on 24.
Roger, runway 24, Hotel Golf, cross 15, Express 591.
All right.
Kentucky ground, Cessna 5090, Papa, at the GA ramp, looking for IFR clearance to Martha's Vineyard, information, Charlie.
November 579 Sierra Papa, ready to clear clearance.
Okay. So back on the channel here. Sorry guys, you kind of were flight planning for me here. Yep, follow the highway, and yeah, keeps me out of the bar. Yeah, there's not a lot to do here in Wyoming, so you know, flight sim or going to the bars. Keep the water to your left. Sound advice, my friend. Sound advice.
Direct, climb maintain.
Okay.
2000, departing
Let's get this altitude put in
We're having a
here.
little bit of comm issues. 509 Sierra Papa.
Arm that baby. Why can't I arm that?
November 9 Sierra Papa, read back.
This, I gotta be honest with you. This autopilot, I have the hardest time sometimes with the arm and the altitude. Alright, let's make the call to ground. At Nantucket Ground, good evening again. Skylane 516 Delta Mike. We are requesting taxi clearance to runway 24, VFR departure to the northwest.
November 516 Delta Mike, Nantucket Ground, could you please flight me first?
Oh, let me recycle that for you. Sorry, 516 Delta Mike. I say recycle because
No problem.
I probably don't have it in, and no, I don't. 6 Bravo 6. Yeah, that's my bad. Alright, so while I'm doing this, let me tell you a great story about these guys. And actually, these are not the same controllers that I had on the night that I did this, but I came in. My two lowest.
Hello, Canadian Express 591.
My two lowest approaches, as far as ceiling, have been at this
Hello,
airport.
Express 591. I'll make it easier for you. Runway 24, taxi.
Oh, I got somebody behind me, blinding me here, dude, killing me. Anyway, so the last time I came in here, we had weather right down to the minimums. I mean, it was actually, as I was coming in, it was below minimums, but we decided to just give it a try and see what it looked like. And we actually picked it up at the last minute. We were okay. It was a halfway decent landing, but all the way down.
November 510, Mike, you ready for, hold on. Disregard.
Yeah, 6 Delta Mike, we're ready for taxi. Anyway, all the way down.
November 516 Delta Mike, runway 24, taxi via Alpha Echo, cross 915, follow Canadian Express Beechcraft.
Alpha Echo, cross 15, will follow the traffic, 516 Delta Mike. So all the way down there, they're lighting me up on the chat. VPilot has a feature where you can direct message, and it pops up. And anyway, they were. It was stuff like they were taking bets as to you know, how bad it was going to be. They were wanting to know where to send flowers to my wife. It was hilarious. I laughed. I mean, I didn't laugh because I was a little stressed. It was a tough approach for me, but it kept me loose. And anyway, it was tremendous. I loved it. I've never had a group of air traffic guys, and they were totally 100% professional the whole time. I feel like my scenery is not loaded correctly here. This doesn't look great. Like I'm missing lines or something. Alright, anyway, they were super professional. It was a lot of fun, but the part I remember most is just the comments on the way down, especially the, you know, who's your next of kin and what kind of flowers does your wife like. This is
Nantucket Tower,
yeah. So, but then they gave me some props. I felt like I actually pulled the landing off, and they're like, all right, that was pretty good, man. I really don't think they thought I was gonna be able to.
Contact Nantucket Tower 1.3 and have a good flight.
Over to Tower 516 Delta Mike. Thanks for the ATC. See you next time. All right, yeah, 1830. It should be tuned in still. So yeah, so that's kind of the beauty of Twitch, is they were actually watching as I was coming in, and they saw what I saw, and it was a sheet of white, man. So anyway, Nantucket Tower, good evening. 516 Delta Mike. We're in sequence for runway 24, ready for departure.
November 16 Delta.
Oh man,
Roger.
might be really in sequence here. I don't know. I do. I put in there. I say stop by and say hi. Looks like I went from
591, we're holding chart 24 right.
went from number 2 to number 3 here. That's okay.
Express 591, Nantucket Tower, wind 220, runway 24 to take off, VFR to the west group.
We got like 3 different sceneries here.
Express 591.
Okay, I have my landing lights on still. Sorry, buddy. That guy's in a hurry to get out. I'm not gonna race him. I'm gonna do a quick run up while we're waiting, because I had been sitting for quite a while. All right, new product line. All right, let me get. I don't think my scenery has rendered correctly somehow. This does not look near as sharp as normal, so I've been having some trouble with Nantucket. I don't know what's going on here, but we're close enough. That's all right. I'm gonna point my nose this way. Let's bring it up. I really need to do this. Pedestal lights. Have anything down there? No. Floodlight. I don't think I need anything down there just yet. We'll turn that on just for now. All right, 1700. I need this flood just so I can. Okay.
We're just doing a quick run up here at 24.
Roger, advisory.
All right, that looks good. That looks good. We do have our flaps set full still. All right, he's doing the run up. We're doing the run up. Our run up is complete. Okay. Yeah, it's a good view. Super dark right now, but so like, what happens sometimes? I don't know why, but I get this. This scenery it has about 3 really good layers that I've noticed, and it puts this layer down first, which kind of gives it that aged
5090 Papa 2204 runway 24
cracked concrete look, and then they put another layer down that has the runway markings down, and then they put a third layer down that kind of includes volumetric grass and things like that. Yes, for only $49.99, get your binoculars and the new extension ladder. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Actually, what it is, it's just I just hold my drone out and just fly it up, and I'm just looking at my my phone.
516 Delta Mike, runway 24 line wind.
24 line up and wait. 516 Delta Mike. Yeah, I'm only looking up over top just because I'm wondering what the heck's going on with my scenery downwind. So it's hard to get lost at Nantucket. Yeah, this doesn't look right. I have no lines, nothing, no hold short lines, so I don't know. Something's going on with Nantucket. I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't look right either. Jeez, Jeez Louise. Oh, there's my runway. Thank goodness for edge lighting. Yeah, nothing. No runway lines, no markings, nothing. So something's going on.
516 Delta Mike. Traffic in the upwind Cessna, the westbound. Right turnout to the northwest is approved. Runway 24, clear for takeoff.
516 Delta Mike. We see the traffic. Right turnout to the west approved. Clear for takeoff. Runway 24. Here we go. Let's have some fun.
A Express 591, frequency change approved.
Maybe X-plane's near. Yeah, this scenery, for whatever reason, it every now and again, it's like every time I install a new scenery somewhere, I have to come back here and like just make sure this one. It's almost like that that pet that you have that gets jealous, you know, when you bring a new pet in and then they pout for a while, and so yeah. But I love it too much. Still glad I have it, even if it is cantankerous. Alright, right turn out to the west is approved. We are going to do that here. Gonna go flaps up. And we're gonna just kinda head west. I'm looking at my map here and I'm seeing it's actually a 305 course that I need. So let's do that. 305. That'll take us to Martha's Vineyard, where that'll be our first touch and go. It's just a 26-mile leg here, so I don't need to get crazy. Almost feel like 2,500 is almost too much. Oops, 305. Where are we at? Alright, turn the floods off here. Let's get to 305. Let's watch our instrument and actually try to stay level and on course. Hopefully when we get back away from, yeah, it's just that typical Nantucket marine layer there. Hopefully when we get away from it here a little bit, it'll clear up some. Martha's Vineyard 8 is
516 Delta Mike, were you looking for 5 miles today?
no, that's okay. 516 Delta Mike. Negative. That's what you say. Negative. Not no, that's okay.
Mike, Roger. VFR, frequency change approved to the northwest.
Squawk and VFR, and VFR departure to the northwest approved. Thanks for the ATC, man. We'll see you next time. 516 Delta Mike. Boom. Shakalaka. I am actually gonna, you know what, that was dumb. That was not smart. Because if I'm wanting to, Jesus. Oh, I don't have to have a squawk code to do that. I do want to go into Martha's Vineyard here. 14.5. I'm going to put this in, okay, just to make sure. 114.5. I need to fly VFR more because these are the nuances that you know, I need to get used to. And we were saying a 305. I'm almost turning this into a slant alpha adventure right here, just for you, Rob. 305. This is purely a reference guide, although it really isn't because I can't see squat. Turn off the taxi and landing lights. I'm going to engage the autopilot. I'm going to engage the nav. I'm going to arm the altitude and hope it levels off. I am going to give him a call back here because we're 20 miles out, but and Boston Pro Skylane 516 Delta Mike, we actually would like to request touch and go at Martha's Vineyard if we could.
Number 516 Delta Mike Tower.
Oh, tower.
Approach 124.05.
Sorry.
Like falling on the way. Otherwise, contact tower.
Yeah, I think I canceled that flight following a little too soon. Sorry about that, but we'll go to approach and check in with him. Thanks again. 6 Delta Mike. Alright. Yep, that was... Got too carried away there. So... Geez, I don't remember. 18.2 is approach. Oh, jeez. One 1.8 Put it in the right spot there, my man. That's right, you can change your mind. The Boston approach, Skylane 516 Delta Mike. Hello again. We're inbound about 18 miles to the east of Martha's Vineyard at 2000. I'd like to request touch and go at Martha's Vineyard. Runway 24, I should have said.
516 Delta Mike, Boston approach. I do not control Martha's Vineyard in contact. Boston approach on 124.05.
12405, thanks. 6 Delta Mike, see it. Yeah, that was dumb. 124, I'll show you why that's dumb. 05. Because here is Nantucket 118.2, which I was just talking to, and what I just saw 12. Oh, wait a second, maybe it wasn't as dumb as I thought. Alright, I don't feel quite so bad. They're all called Boston Approach though, which is weird. Still getting used to that. And approach, good evening, Skylane 516 Delta Mike. We're at 2,515 miles east of Martha's Vineyard. We'd like to request touch and go at Martha's Vineyard, runway 24.
Number 516 Delta Mike, Boston approach, squawk 3404, and ident, please.
3404 ident. Alright, we will enter that. We will click the ident button. I actually like to use the ident button on my V-Pilot, even though I know there's an ident button up here somewhere. Oh yeah, I could have just
Number
popped it
516
right
Delta
there.
Mike, radar contact. You said you wanted to get flight following to Martha's Vineyard, and she goes at Martha's Vineyard.
That's a firm, and then we'll be departing Martha's Vineyard to the west.
Number 516 Delta Mike, maintain VFR at or above 2,500.
Maintain VFR at or above 2,500. 516 Delta Mike. I tell you what, the weather conspiring.
516 Delta Mike traffic, 9 o'clock, 3 miles, Cessna 172, also north westbound towards Martha's Vineyard at 2,000, report site.
Okay, we're looking for the traffic. 516 Delta Mike. See some. Okay, here we have it.
5090 Papa traffic, 3 o'clock, 2 miles north westbound, Cessna 182, VFR 2,600.
That's inside 5090 Papa.
Number 5090 Papa, you want the ILS 24, just visual approach 24.
We'll take ILS 24, 090 Papa.
236.
Number 5090 Papa, roger, turn right, heading 350, vectors ILS 24 first.
Right 350 vectors, ILS 24 approach, 5090 Papa.
And we're tuning that in.
Delta Mike traffic, 12 o'clock, 7 miles, VFR, altitude indicates 3,000, south, eastbound, type unknown.
Alright, we see the original traffic, looking for the new aircraft. 516 Delta Mike. Okay, we've got our.
Number 516 Delta Mike, the original Cessna 182 will pass underneath you to the north, and then number 5090 Papa traffic on the route will be 12 o'clock, 5 miles, VFR indicates 2,800 south, eastbound, report site.
Alright, gotta
Gotta
keep our eyes out for that guy. So I did go ahead and put in the...
Delta Mike, that traffic's now 2,800, 12 o'clock, 5 miles.
Yes. Okay, still looking. Negative contact, 6 Delta Mike. Coming up on us here, just about our same altitude. Anyway, what I was saying, I did go ahead and...
Delta Mike, 5, your first distance, heading 030, clear traffic.
Okay, turning 230, 6 Delta Mike. Alright, we can do that. Whoa. Never did see him, but that's the beauty of flight following in this weather, is they can see via radar what we can't see visually. So there goes the 172 that was just to our 9 o'clock, and he's on the ILS runway 24. We actually could request that ourselves, just because of the conditions here.
November 516 Delta Mike, that traffic's no factor. You can do direct Martha's Vineyard at your discretion.
Direct Martha's Vineyard at our discretion, 6 Delta Mike. Alright, so alright.
050 Papa, maintain 1,500.
Martha's Vineyard is saying it's clear. Double check here. Yeah, saying clear with a statute 10 statute mile visibility, so that's interesting. Alright, there's the airfield. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just we're basically just gonna turn left base.
12 o'clock, 7 miles with inside.
6 Delta Mike, we see the field.
2516 Delta Mike, contact tower 121.4.
121.4, 6 Delta Mike. Alright.
50 Papa, descend, maintain 1,500,
Okay.
turn right heading 030.
Oh, jeez, I keep
1,500 right.
I keep changing my my nav frequency instead of my comm frequency. Man, I'm tired. I should just probably go to bed here. What I say? Jeez. 121.4.
1,700 appears to be on file runway 24 from Martha's Vineyard.
And we have that inside 0.
I've got to see that. All right.
Left cross, wind 2435 Alpha.
And Martha's Vineyard Tower, Skylane 516 Delta Mike. We're on the left base, runway 24, requesting touch and go. Yeah, it is, and it's a real thing, man.
Skylane
Downwind.
516 Delta Mike, Martha's Vineyard Tower. Good evening. Enter left downwind runway 24, and what do you want on the go?
Into the left downwind, and we request a departure to the west, 516 Delta Mike.
Roger.
Alright, so on the downwind, we've got the ILS tuned in. Yeah, over water and with marginal weather too, really. I mean, you're right, it's not a good combo.
Canadian Express 591.
Whose idea was this?
Pressure wind 3005, runway 24. Clear for the oxygen.
Tomorrow's Friday though, my friend, so we can do it.
Full stop, Canadian Express 591. Canadian Express 591, runway 24, clear. And number 2 traffic terminal, short final.
This one was my idea, actually. You were wanting to go to Block Island, so.
Clear to land number 2, 591.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, we could pick up, that'd be a good thing to practice, just pick up a pop-up IFR and fly it on into, where am I going? Fly it on into Minuteman.
706 Alpha Mike, traffic, 3 mile
Whoops.
final, runway 24.
Drifting off my
You're
downwind a little
behind
bit
that
here.
traffic. Wind 3005, runway
Yeah.
24, cleared for the option.
We'll be okay.
Left crosswind departure is approved.
Getting pushed a little bit to the left. I'm not
Runway 24, clear
keeping that
access,
downwind
runway
very
2, left
very
crossing
good, and I'm
departure
also
approved, and,
climbing,
we're
which
putting a
isn't
call
good.
there right now. We don't have the traffic situation, we're going to 6 Alpha Mike.
All right, there we go.
All right,
Much
so
better.
6 Alpha Mike for now. Extend down when I'll call your bed.
Yeah, look for that one, 6 Alpha Mike.
Hope he calls my base soon. I think I'm
Skylane
getting a long
6
way.
Alpha Mike, it looks like you're flying to the east, sir. If you can make your left turn, you can make straight in runway 24.
Okay, left turn. We'll make straight in runway 24, 516 Delta Mike. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What is going on here? Holy cow. What happened here? Man, oh man.
Seminole 6 Alpha Mike Roger, turn base, runway 24, clear for the option, number 2, behind the Baron.
Boy, my nose is up, down. It's what is going on?
Seminole 3 Papa Alpha, you're leaving by airspace to the south, frequency change approved. Good evening.
I don't think I'm on. All right.
Thanks for the help leaving your airspace, frequency change approved today. And Seminole 3 Papa Alpha, squawk VFR. Squawk VFR.
Airfield's over there, so he told me to enter left downwind, which is what I did. And then he told me I'm flying east away from the airfield, which that's what left
Canadian Express
downwind
591, welcome to
does.
Martha's Vineyard, exit left 1 able, when off contact ground.
All right. I just had the weirdest sort of wind issue there where it tossed my nose directly down and then up. And,
Canadian Express 91, welcome to Martha's Vineyard, exit left 1 able, when off contact ground.
all right. Not
Exit
sure
left
what's
in
going
contact
on
ground,
here,
Canadian
but
Express 591.
let's get back on the base. That was really weird. There's my airport. All right, we're going to turn final. I guess it's possible that I have the wrong 1091. Oh, I have the wrong frequency and is why. Okay, so there's my, all right. Yep, there's my runway. So I still don't feel like I was really all that out of pattern. Am I missing something downwind? I mean, I felt like I was getting a little far away from the airfield, but did I miss a clear to turn base? Maybe I did. I don't know. Well, all is well right now because we are not on a great final, but we've located the airfield.
ILS 24, and we have kilo.
Yeah, I don't, and that was weird. I don't know what happened there.
Number 2 traffic. Number 2 following Skylane.
That's
4 mile
me.
final, runway 24. Wind 2905 now, runway 24. Clear to land. Okay, runway 2, runway 24, clear to land, 5090 Pop.
If I have a chance, I'll ask the guy if I missed a
Skylane
call.
6 Delta Mike, runway 24. Clear for the option. On the go. Westbound departure is approved.
6 Delta Mike, clear for the option runway 24 and westbound departure approved. Yeah, all right, well, okay, landing and taxi lights are back on. We, altimeter is unchanged.
You're in the left turn now, just avoiding some clouds, 6 Alpha Mike.
Roger.
We are a bit high, I think, but not too bad.
Cessna 9 Sierra Papa, reduce your approach speed. 509, reduce speed 509 Sierra Papa.
Second notch of flaps. No such thing as a sterile cockpit. Alright. It feels gusty here. I don't know. Not really showing that. It says wind's calm, but I am getting bounced like crazy. Power back in. No poppies. We're just gonna have to
500.
eyeball it here.
Seminole 6 Alpha Mike leaving my airspace to the south. Squawk VFR.
There's the
Frequency change
traffic
approved. Good evening.
heading south. I've got him.
36 for 6 Alpha Mike, please.
Oops, a little too much power there. Nose coming up.
Good, you're powering low again for 5516 South, requesting North Shore transition back to Katama.
Bird Dog 5169 Golf, Martha's Vineyard Tower. You say you're requesting the North Shore transition to where?
To Katama, 1 Bravo 2.
Bird Dog 69 Golf, approved as requested. Turn your transponder on.
So sorry about that. Transponder is on and approved as requested North Shore transition to Katama 6.
Final lots of flaps. C24, that's a good thing. Hit it up a little high. See if I can time the flare here. Nope, a little early. Here comes the stall. Or the bounce. Ooh, that was a hard one. Alright. Okay, flaps to 1. Hey, oh, don't drift. Have no idea where my trim is because I don't have the lights on down there. Off we go. Heading west. 268 is the Sky Vector recommendation. Up and away. Bring it back to climb power. Try to get to 90 knots on the climb. We're just not doing a very good job of that. It's a good thing I
Just 9 Sierra Papa contact, right? Good evening.
picked this airplane because I tell you what, I am rusty. Rusty. Look at me weaving all over the place. All right. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I do think we'll hit Block Island. That's just a little ways over here. I mean, another 46 miles.
Bird Dog 69 Golf, no
268. I am going to set my autopilot though because I'm going to do something. I'm going to try to see if I can flight plan, and I want to see if I can pick up a pop-up VFR after we get past Block Island. The nostalgia leg, yeah, buddy. Ain't it the truth, man?
Skylane 3 from Mike, leaving my airspace to the west. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Good evening.
Squawk and VFR, frequency changed. Approved, thanks for the ATC. Catch you next time, 6 Delta Mike. Alright, so we're back to VFR, which is cool.
Evening, Houston, November 14570 uniform.
Alright.
We're going up to 500 and we're inbound for the GA ramp.
I'm actually going to leave it on this frequency, just again, because I like the chatter.
Good evening, make straight in, runway 24.
Okay, while we're doing
We'll
this,
continue straight into 4.
we're
and then,
generally
we'll
speaking
take
heading
that
towards
track,
where we want to
VFR
be.
and 5 center form.
Do I have a VFR or VOR
We've
to
got the request.
Sandy Point?
Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Alright. So here's what I'm wanting to do here. Let's pull up the low airways here. Let's see what we could do. We could go. So we're gonna be Block Island. Clear this out. We're gonna try to pick up a pop-up IFR. We're going to touch and go, and then we're gonna depart to the northwest. But what we're gonna do is this. I don't know if you're able to do this or not, but I wonder if you can request the VFR, or excuse me, the IFR after. Like if I could request the IFR right now and say I want to start after the touch and go. I'm actually going to ask. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm seeing a pretty good route right here, actually. Go Norwich, so we go Groton, then Norwich. We'll follow the Victor 14 up to the Graham intersection. Then we will, and from here is where I don't know what we'd want to do. It seems to make sense to maybe come up here to all the way up here. I don't really see an airway that takes us. Come up to Gardner. I don't see really an airway that takes us, unless we could just get cleared direct Minuteman. That doesn't.
The 57 uniform.
That doesn't look like a terrible flight plan. So I'm actually gonna message. I'm gonna message this guy real fast and just ask him. First, I'm gonna locate. I'm not even seeing his frequency still. Oh, that's really weird. Here's what I'm seeing. It's been a long night.
Augusta 57 uniform ending at the ramp.
So I'm talking to 121.4 right now.
2905. Use caution for aircraft on the
I
ramp.
thought he's not center or
Landing at our own risk. We have the
approach. He's none of this.
on the
So
ramp in sight, and we'll,
that's weird. I don't know why I still. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. All right, I'm gonna talk to my friend Josh Nunn here. See what he says. Here's what I'm asking him. I said, I have a question if you have a minute. And he's controlling center, so he may not be able to get to this. I said, can I request an IFR clearance after I make a touch and go as I'm inbound for the touch and go? So basically, we're out here right now. And I want to know if we can... Yeah, we're up here somewhere, actually. I want to know if we can get the IFR clearance as we're coming in here, and then, you know, instead of making a full stop at Block Island, if I just touch and go, and then I can jump on this route. So we'll see what he says. I'm gonna step away for just 1 second. I'll be right back. Need to make sure I stop at that altitude. Alright, so my center controller says sure, it's not illegal to do that. So he does say that different controllers may have different ways of handling it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that flight plan in, change that up to IFR, and that changes our departure to Block Island. Our destination is still going to be Minuteman. Our departure time is going to be approximately probably about 03, probably about 10 after, and then it's an hour, good hour up there. Keep me up late downwind. And it's going to be eastbound, so I'm going to say, I'm just looking, sorry guys, I'm looking at this. I've got to be, looks like my altitudes, I'm seeing 1500, 2000, 3000. Yeah, so it looks like I need to be at 3000. Probably could go up a little higher than that if I wanted to, but yeah, you know what, I'll go. I'll file it at 5,000.
One is Rainier Tower, can you stress 591, holding short 24.
Dave
Alright.
Express 591, Mars Virginia Tower, good evening again, sir. Left downwind departure.
I'm
is
going to
approved.
go over to
Wind 3005.
Boston Center
Takeoff.
and report my position and my intentions.
Can you express 591?
Can a brother get a VOR here? So Sandy Point's 117.8. Let's at least put that in. 117.8. That way we can give some kind of a position report. 78. Spin this around, see how close we are. Yeah, we're not. We're a little bit south of course, but that's not terrible. 27 miles. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, let's tune in 134.7, and yeah, mostly westbound events. 34, let's see what he says. You ever done this downwind? Am I doing this right? Do you know? I mean, I've done a lot of pop-up
Thanks, and who else was calling?
IFRs like when you fly into weather, but I've never done one like this before I actually do a touch and
I
go.
have really no idea. I don't control Newark. Looks like they're in the fours. They'll say they're on so.
All right, we're gonna do it right now.
Alright, 104, this is 523.
Yeah, usually it's 4 right landing, 4 right departing, 4 left.
All right, so here's the flight plan again.
278, radar contact.
So we're gonna
Radar
hit.
contact. Come maintain 7,000, stay altitude.
So Block Island after the touch and go will become our
7,000,
departure
3,000,
airport.
247, Charlie Hotel.
Then we're up to,
Groton.
Groton.
Turn right heading.
then we're gonna
right
follow
heading
the
180.
Victor 308 to
Left 180, 247,
Norwich, then north up to Gardner, and
Yeah,
then
2136,
hopefully.
33 left, clear for takeoff.
Oh, sorry. What did I file the VATS in?
Clear for
Okay.
takeoff, 33 left, 2130.
So I'm filing it
And
again.
American 955, we have...
IFR, Block Island, Minuteman. I don't have an alternate.
American 955, roger.
I'm going to estimate here I'll be there in about the next 10 minutes. It's an hour 5 speed, altitude, right there. So now let's hear what he has to say. In Boston Center, Skylane 516 Delta Mike.
Skyline 516 Delta Mike, Boston.
Yes, sir. We are currently VFR inbound to Block Island at 2,500. We are approximately 23 miles east of the airport. We'd like to pick up an IFR clearance into Minuteman Airfield. We'd like to touch and go at Block Island and then fly IFR north to Minuteman.
November 516 Delta Mike, roger. Touch and go VFR at Block Island, and afterwards, IFR to Minute.
That's a firm 6 Delta Mike.
6 Delta Mike, roger. And do you require flight point to Block Island, sir?
A firm 6 Delta Mike. Might as well.
95P3, should climb up to flight level 2 bro.
He needs to know.
Maintain 16,000. That'll be the highest I can get you to Newark.
He needs to know where I'm at probably at all times here, so get that transponder.
And 523, just to confirm, it's 16,000, 16,000, sir, and the Bradley altimeter is 2996.
Correct, flight level 1606. I was in the 199 or 299.
I can't tell if it's westbound or eastbound at the end of the day here downwind from Block Island. I know we go westbound for a while, but then we start kind of coming back eastbound, so I guess he'll correct that if it should be a westbound.
2130 is crossing 1,500.
Yeah, 2136, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 340.
We're getting close to it here. We're within 20 miles of Block Island.
November 7, Charlie Hotel, clear right Nantucket Airport.
Alright, we're going to close that down. We're going to move that out of the way. And
TVM 7, Charlie Hotel, clear right
we're going
Nantucket
to find
Airport.
out.
Cleared Nantucket, just confirm our destination is Martha's Vineyard.
I'm going to go ahead.
Sorry about that. November 7, Charlie Hotel, clear right Martha's Vineyard Airport.
Clear direct to near 247 Charlie Hotel, thanks. See ya. Oh,
Yes.
not yet, we're not checking.
Then on the frequency, please, thanks.
Okay, 247 Charlie.
American 955, descend and maintain flight level 230.
Down to 230, 55.
I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like we're way south of where we need to be here. We're not getting a transponder code, so I'm going to clear this for now. We'll come back to it if we need it. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to decipher. So Block Island, I think we can do 117.8, which is what we have tuned in right now. And I think we can track that. So I'm just going to try to see if I can get us back on course here. Yeah, see, I feel like we're well to this, well, not a long way to the south, but we're fairly south of where we should be. Alright, so we're going to turn, instead of 268, we're going to kind of make a little bit more of about a 2, yeah, about 280 by the time it kind of gets back on the radial here that it wants. There we go. Landing taxi lights can go off. Heading out to sea. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and check my crab pots down here, just see how they're looking. You know, so we can have a little crab bake tomorrow. Oh man, my phone's been blowing up here. Didn't realize it. Oh, missed a call. Shoot, it's 9 o'clock my time. I don't think I'm gonna call back. Let's go chill till tomorrow. Oh, you're never not odd call as a principal, but in this case, I'm gonna not worry about it.
Oh yeah, some Charlie Hotel.
I know what the call is.
Direct choppy for the full procedure.
I know it can wait till the morning, if you know what I mean. All right, you know something I haven't really checked here in a while. How are we doing fuel-wise? Oh, we're in great shape. 3/4 of a tank still. All this stuff is looking good. All this stuff is looking good. I could have probably leaned this out a little bit. We're We're gonna lean it out.
293.
See if I do this right. So as I lean it, temperature should raise, and then when it starts to fall, that's when it's, if I understand correctly, lean of peak. Okay, so leaning it. Toilet's over. Yeah, you know, and you joke about that, but we have an alarm system that monitors everything from that to our air handlers and our fire system. We had one year where we had a kind of a malfunctioning sensor, and it would send our alarm company a false alarm that we had a fire in a portion of the building. And I don't know why, but that doggone thing, it went off like for 3 nights in a row at no earlier than about 2 in the morning. And so it calls me on my phone, and of course you got to go check on it. I mean, it also alerts the fire department and everything else, but you just have to check it, and it's just like, holy cow! They finally figured out what was wrong. Thank goodness. But that was a long week. I made a lot of trips up to the school, so I'm slowly still leaning, and I'm not seeing my carb heat really. Maybe it's this temperature I was supposed to be watching, not my carb heat. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, that's too far. Alright, I'm just gonna call it good right there. I brought my fuel rate down, saving some fuel anyway. Okay, so we are, by the by, I see the airfield. Center 516 Delta Mike, we have the Block Island Airfield in sight.
516 Delta Mike, roger. I have not established radar contact with you yet, sir. I'm not sure if you picked up the code I gave you.
Oh no, sir, I did not hear that. Give that to me one more time. I'll punch it in real quick. 6 Delta Mike.
6 Delta Mike, squawk 46.
46 and then broken. Sorry about that. 6 Delta Mike.
It's going to be 4665, 4665.
4665. Thanks, 6 Delta Mike. 4665. Yeah. Semi-important here.
Cleared on runway 24 approach. Report the
Oh, I got to put it up there. 4665. Enter. Alright, that's better. I don't even know what the heck. Runway 10 and runway 28. We're going to approach 28.
American 955, clear right.
Looks like we're not too far off of where we want to be.
American 955, descend via the left 3 arrival, runway 27, Boston altimeter 29902. Descend via the arrival, expect 27.
There is a VOR approach if I wanted to fly it, but...
November 6 Delta Mike, radar contact, 6 miles east of the 6 point VOR, altitude indicates 2,500, maintain.
Maintain VFR, 6 Delta Mike. I'm sure that's what he said, but just having a little bit...
Delta Mike, you say you are you inbound Block Island at this time?
Affirm, 6 Delta Mike.
6 Delta Mike, roger, frequency change to advisory is approved. Call me airborne, and I'll have your IFR 2 minute man.
Okay, we'll call you airborne, over to advisory. Talk to you in just a few minutes, 6 Delta Mike. Okay, here we go. So, alright, I'll play by the rules. 122.8. We're in. Block Island traffic, Skylane 516 Delta Mike. 5 mile final, runway 28 Block Island. I'll read your notes. I see you're putting some notes on how to lean the aircraft out. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to get my speed down. I'm going to start to descend. We're a little high. It's not as nostalgic because it's all dark. Sorry about that, downwind. It's not quite the same experience as our old FS 2004 days. Okay, trim, trim, trim. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, if you lean too much, absolutely. And it'll simulate that too. So I have to always be careful to not over lean it. Don't need to get carried away with my descent here. Still around 700-800 is probably about as aggressive as I need to be, although we do need to lose a little altitude here. Alright, there comes the flaps. Nose is trying to bubble on me. Speed will come down. If I just get the speed down, we'll be just fine. I like the beacon light down there. It looks pretty cool. Boy, it's a moonless black night up here in the VFR TCC. This is actually an Orbix airfield that I have considered buying just because of nostalgia. Alright, speed's looking good now. Still high. Save the money for X-Plane. Just gonna be a little high. It's a touch and go though, so it's, you know,
500.
it's gonna have to work. Maybe it'll end up being just a low pass. I'd like to get one halfway decent one. I've bounced every single one so far. I'd like to be able to I'd like to also be able to have lights on. That is helpful. Alright, get back on the center line here. Alright, a little better. There we go. We did actually get one. And all the people said amen. Whoa. And all the people said amen. Now, can we actually get off before the end of the runway? Because there's like a little bit of a ledge, isn't there? Oh boy. Oh no! All right. I saw something here in the field that I thought looked pretty interesting, so I'm gonna just hop out real fast here and check it out. Oh man. Hey, the one good thing is the engine is running. Oh my goodness, downwind. What have I done? Props look good. So I did manage somehow. I can't even see it. Alright. We're going to do this. We're going to take a look at the damage here. Oh boy. That was a stall. Terrible. Awful. Dang it. There was a fish on the runway. Oh, dang it. The worst part is, yeah, I didn't see anything. The worst part is I don't get to fly up to, maybe don't get to fly up to Minuteman now. In fact, I don't think I will. I am going to load this up though and look at the damage. It'll be interesting just for people to, if they come across this, look at the end of it. Let's get this thing loaded up. I actually didn't think I really didn't probably need to change it to daytime, but we will anyway, just to look at the outside. So I don't know how there's not going to be damage to the propeller, to the gear, to the engine itself. Probably, I mean, I cartwheeled it, so there should be damage to the wing as well. I'm thinking that this may be a complete overhaul. Well, let's take a look. All right, so actually the propeller looks okay. Wings look okay. Let's go to the hangar. This will be a miracle if there's... What? How can that be? Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna chalk that up to a little bit of a glitch, which is a rare thing. We're gonna just shut everything down and we're gonna just walk away slowly, and we're gonna just hope nobody saw that. I will contact ATC just to make sure that he knows not to keep looking for us. Radio, or what would he say? Radar contact lost? Yeah. All right, let me, I'm just going to message him. Let's see, what does one say in a situation like this? I decided it would be more fun to crash in the field than pick up IFR, fish on the runway. There we go. Well, I actually feel bad. Fish on the runway, because he's been working to get this clearance figured out. Yeah, so here's what I was worried about. I'm going to hop in the downwind sim extension ladder. He's laughing. On the well, I'll just show you. You've hung around for 2 hours and 58 minutes. You don't mind 2 more minutes, right? So on the product page, it looks to me like, and I'll admit I panicked a little bit because it was a short field, and I actually made a couple mistakes there. So number one, I didn't have my lights turned on so I could see where my trim was, and that ended up killing me. Oh, this isn't the one actually. Then I was thinking one of them had like a little bit of a ledge. Maybe I was just picturing this scenery in my head, but well, regardless. So just in recapping, I should have had my floodlight on so I could check my. So I wonder what my trim is. Oh, see, my trim ends up being right where it needs to be for takeoff anyway. Clean the flaps up. But that was the start of the problem, and then I was thinking that this was like a more of a dramatic drop off in here, so I was thinking I needed to get airborne, and I just pulled back and was way too abrupt on my on my on my quadrant here, my yoke. Can't even talk now. But I somehow managed to crash land and not damage anything. So there's at least that. All right, and our guy Josh at Boston Center has a good sense of humor about it. Thank goodness. We're gonna call it good here. I tell you, we're just gonna sort of cut our losses. It was fun. It could be worse. You could be the guy living in this house right here. But thanks ATC for a fun event. It really was a ton of fun. A lot of fun practicing VFR things and learning new things. And I did learn a couple things tonight, so that's cool. Um, Downwind, thanks for hanging out. As always, we got to figure out where we're going here next. Met a new friend along the way tonight, which was cool. Slash French, if you come back to this, thanks. Nice to meet you, man. Looking forward to seeing some of the things that you do in the flight sim world, and maybe you can show me how to actually operate this beast of a Skylane. But otherwise, so again, just some adjustments to our flight schedule. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make the Friday night ops event, which is going to be kind of cool down in the Washington area. It's kind of a GA themed event, but we'll be working. It's Friday Night Lights up here, and I'm gonna be helping out with the high school football game. I'm gonna be actually doing the announcing. So the normal guy couldn't make it, so they called the JV guys. So, but anyway, we'll be back. Taking my kid out of town, taking him to college this weekend, but hopefully be back. Sunday, maybe hop in somewhere, maybe go do some more exploring in the Beaver or something like that. But anyway, we'll see. I'm sure just keep your eyes peeled, and I'll also be watching for you on the TCast. So have a fantastic evening, and hey man, enjoy the camp and don't pet the black bears, man, and stay dry, buddy. Good talking to you as always, Downwind. ATC again, thanks. Everybody else, have a great evening. Take care, and God bless.